Activating the record.
And so the last big topic is about values. And so it's very important to highlight the link between food system and quality of life for everyone and other species also, and to promote economy of well-being. It's important to establish nature and food as common goods. We talk about also promoting fair trade within the EU. And at last, it's very important to ensure access to healthy food to everyone, to promote within the CAP healthy production and redirect CAP money there. So that's, I think, I don't know if somebody wants to add something.
Thank you very much, Céline. I would go for the second breakout room. Then we will see if there is any last question, if there is space for any last question. Second breakout room, note taker was Carlo Curti. Can you hear us, Carlo?
I can hear you indeed. Can you hear me well?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Then I will summarize the three proposals that have been finalized by the second breaking room, which was, as you said, on legal actions and citizens-led advocacy against intensive farming. So there was a lot of discussion, putting at the center of the core discussion the European citizens, the people. So the first proposal is to encourage the dialogue between civil society through the promotion of civic space, for example, youth assemblies or citizens panels, aim to push the EU's political agenda and introduce a transparent way for citizens to follow up and for the EU to provide accountability, since these two last points have been found as an issue, a common issue for citizens that can have a legal, an institutional way to participate in democracy or to suggest topics to the EU, but then there's a struggle to follow up and also to receive some kind of accountability from the European Union on what's being proposed by the citizens. The second point is the second proposal is to engage communities, organizing not necessarily political events that bring people together to approach topics such as plant-based diets and awareness of sustainable and cruelty-free farms. For example, events such as food tasting or fairs. And in this case, both communities that live close to intensive farms and also those that do not live close to intensive farms should be, of course, engaged, adapting the communication strategy. For example, with communities living far from the intensive farms, there could be a focus on the health risks of consuming meat-based diet, while for those communities living closer, there could be other interests as well. And then finally, the third proposal, which is to implement legal actions to implement or consider legal actions to challenge the EU Commission on topics such as the legitimacy of the allocation of public funds to the meat industry, considering the need for companies to comply with the EU regulations on climate and environment in order to receive such public fundings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carlo. We go for the final report from the third breakout room on financialization of food. Giovanni?
Yes, we have a bit more than three, but I'm gonna try to be concise. We got a proposal of an interesting book, which is called Transformation, which explains how food and farming policies have failed over decades and constructs a humane and sustainable farming system. So maybe something to look into. Then we have another proposal, which is about increasing the cost of meat and have a more proportional price between meat and plant-based, because the price for producing meat is much higher than the one to produce plant-based food. But as it is now, the relationship is exactly the opposite. So meat is way cheaper than actual plant-based food. Then we have another book, which is called Per una Costituzione della Terra in Italian, which means For a Constitution of the Earth, by Luigi Farraioli, sorry, in which basically some rights to the earth are granted. So there's again a proposal to grant some rights to the earth, to the land. Then we have another proposal, which is to increase the demand for vegan food, because if the demand for meat remains as high as it is now, it's very unlikely that the share of intensive farming will also decrease. A very interesting example was brought up. If there is a demand for drugs, even if drugs are not legal, people are still going to find a way to find drugs. So by increasing the demand for vegan food and decreasing the one for actual meat, we can also hopefully decrease the amount of intensive farming. There is also another proposal, which is to share some statistical data that explain how much meat and which meat is produced in intensive farming contexts, so that people are more aware and they know where to buy meat and which meat is coming from where. And finally, one more, and then one more from Gaia, is that we should farmers should really have a direct communication with supermarkets to make sure that they produce and they give only what is actually needed, because now there is a big surplus of meat that goes to waste because it's not bought. So by really aligning the demand with the production, we can make sure that all that is produced is actually used and nothing goes to waste. And I will give the floor to Gaia.
Yeah, thank you, Giovanni. So the final proposal is the one from Martin that talk about the financial fund and a huge amount of public money that has to stop on intensive farm in our countries, but also in the global south, because a lot of public money is spent also in other countries from where we were talking about the EU. Also the tax avoidance that has to stop. And finally, the concentration of power in global companies has to stop, because they control and influence the prices of food. So those was the proposal from Martin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gaia. And I think it's a lot of inputs. So unless anyone has any final thought or consideration, what we can do, we will re-elaborate, of course, all the proposals that have been issued by this assembly, and we will produce a document. And also thanks to the collaboration with the experts, the speakers that were today at the assembly, we can build something concrete, I think, if not on every proposal that has been raised, at least we can select the most relevant. And this is also a participatory process, the selection of the proposal. So we will come up to you next week with a concrete development of the output of the assembly, and then we need to give back to the institution the proposal that emerged from today's discussion. And this is the work that we will do together with all the organization and the people who help today. I could name many of them. I have to name here Anna Bemis, who gave a lot of support today, Domiziana Gioia, of course, Tilly Metz here with us, and I have to thank Xavier from Greenpeace Luxembourg, a lot of people, and Celine, of course, all the note takers and facilitators. We will need to work together to build up this concrete proposal. I really want to thank you a lot. and good evening, good vegan or vegetarian dinner, I shall say. And but keep in touch. Keep in touch. It's just ce n'est qu'un début, like French says. So it's just the beginning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye.
Thank you.